What should you practice? In a previous video, we talked about everything should be a practice, from cooking to how you drive to your strength sessions. But in today's video, I want to talk about what should we spend our time doing in order to improve our physical body. There are so many subjects to choose from hand balancing to strength work, acrobatics, balance, coordination, wrestling, jumping, climbing, fighting, and more and more and more. It is, of course, a good thing to be strong, mobile, well coordinated, balanced, but ultimately, in the very beginning, as you're starting this practice, the best thing for us to practice is something we will consistently practice. So what I recommend is spending 90% of your time on the things that you enjoy or find value or find interest in. Chasing interests and enjoyments is also a trap, and we will talk about that later in the video. But as a beginning practitioner, as you're getting into this, we want to find something that you will consistently do. And then the remaining 10% on things that you don't really like, maybe even dislike, but you can see that there's a bigger picture there. Here's an example that I often use with many students of mine. Many people come to me with the goal of achieving a handstand. And let's say this person has 1 hour per day to dedicate towards the handstand. I will program 50 to 55 minutes of that practice as direct work towards that goal. Work with endurance and balance and strength towards the goal of achieving the handstand. But the remaining 5 to 10 minutes, I will introduce a new subject that they might not be interested in at all. For example, spending 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the handstand session in seated stillness. I am of the belief that we don't know what we like and we don't know what we dislike. These things change over time, and it is often only through practice and exposure that you can shed light onto these ideas. Antonio today is different from Antonio 3 months ago. As another example, I will share with you a story that I call my tomato story. Most of my life, I hated tomatoes. The taste disgusted me. When I was 18 years old, I realized it might be a good thing for me to expand my palate a little bit, so I tried a tomato after not having it for many, many years. And guess what happened? More disgusting than I remember. But I didn't want to give up. I started with a simple task. Every time I had a sandwich, I would put 1 small tomato on the sandwich. So as I'm eating the sandwich, I would randomly encounter the tomato, be disgusted, wince a little bit, and then continue the sandwich because it's only 1 tomato. And after many months, it started to get a little bit less disgusting, And then the taste started to become something that I enjoyed. And now I eat tomatoes regularly. I enjoy the taste of tomatoes. But if I would have said at that time, I know what I like, I know what I dislike, and I'm never going to try a tomato again, I would never have been able to enjoy it. It became something that I can add to the things that bring me joy. I have done this again and again and again with many different foods, physical practices, relationships, etc. If at the very beginning I just said, stock my sandwich full of tomatoes, I probably would have fallen off the practice. It probably would have been too high of a dosage for me at that time. Okay, Antonio's saying you should practice what you hate, so I'm going to practice everything I hate. That's not what I'm saying. That will probably pull you off the practice. If I practiced everything that I hate, it would be very hard to continue. I have many things that I still enjoy within the practice, but there's a good amount that I don't like or don't find a lot of interest in or start to be boring, this sort of thing, and this is necessary. But if I put 1 small tomato, 5, 10 minutes of daily practice, you start to develop this complex flavor. It's something that can be consistent. It's not too overbearing. The dosage isn't too high. And then as you progress, you can add more and more of the things that you don't necessarily enjoy right now, and they can become something that you enjoy through practice. I have seen this over and over again in myself and my students. If you are a current student or a past student listening to this video now, I think it would be helpful for others if you wrote down some practices that you didn't like, you hated, you didn't find enjoyment in the beginning, but something that kind of grew on you over time. The complexity of your taste buds grew and grew until the tomato became delicious. So back to the question of what should we practice? It actually doesn't matter. In the beginning, include most of what you like and a little of what you don't like. As you progress, you can slowly include more of what you don't necessarily like and slowly expand the palette. A movement practice to me should be the progressive widening of the things that bring us joy, and not the progressive narrowing into I only enjoyed this, I only want to handstand, I want to do nothing else, and now we get into addiction. It is often through these boring, repetitive, monotonous experiences that this joy is truly built. A lot of what I practice now aren't necessarily things that I enjoy. They are things that I might dislike or even hate at certain times, but that doesn't mean I hate my practice. Every time I encounter something that I dislike, hate, or start to push away, I realize, hey, why am I pushing this away? Is this something that can actually be really beneficial to me? I find it a beautiful moment as I found something that can eventually have the possibility of bringing me more joy. We shouldn't base our practice on our likes and our dislikes because we really don't know. Paraphrasing a quote from Ito, I challenge you to not like it once you're good at it. As the last question, have you had this experience before? Have you practiced your dislikes or things that didn't feel really interesting in the beginning? And did they grow on you? Thank you for watching. That's the session.
A new man. Salted new man.